out there, real women of Philadelphia. My name is Janine Friesen. I'm from Steinbach, Manitoba, and I am thrilled that it is still dessert week. I love making desserts. That's where my heart is. That's what I enjoy doing. That's what really gets my creativity flowing. It's just been a really fun time. And this dessert week, this round 2 dessert week, my daughter actually challenged me to do 14 desserts, 2 desserts a day. 2 desserts a day, Mom. And to challenge myself, I said, let's do it. So this is actually number 12, I believe. So I'm almost there. I have a few more recipes up my sleeve yet that you'll see this week yet. And today we're actually going to be making something a little bit different. Plus it's gluten-free. Today we're going to be making some berry and kiwi cream cheese puffs. Now think of a donut hole that's gluten-free and is loaded with the flavor of strawberry and kiwi. Now I've tried making donut holes in the past gluten-free using fresh fruit, and you end up with a horrible mess because there's so much water in the fresh fruit that it spritz and it splatters a lot of oil. So what I'm going to be using today, these are dried strawberries and this is dried kiwi. Pretty cool, huh? My husband has been so great this week. This is such a crazy week, doing 14 recipes in 7 days, and I had him stop by the local bulk food store for me so that I could have the dried fruit to make for today's dessert. So thank you for all the stops that I've asked you to go on this week. I really appreciate it. Let's get on with the recipe. My oil is just about hot. It's ready to go, so let's move. Here I have 2.5 cups of all-purpose gluten-free flour. To that I'm going to add half a cup of white sugar. And in here I have a teaspoon xanthan gum, a teaspoon salt, a teaspoon baking soda, and half a teaspoon baking powder. We'll put that in there. Just give this a good stir. Now I want to do my wet ingredients. I have 3/4 cup buttermilk, or in my case sour milk. Very seldom do I have buttermilk on hand when I want it or when I need it. So I actually take a tablespoon of lemon juice and I add enough milk to get the quantity that I needed. So in this case it was a tablespoon of lemon juice, and then I filled up to the 3/4 inch line, or the 3/4 cup line with milk. And then you get a nice sour milk. I'm also going to add in our 4 ounces of cream cheese. We're using just regular brick variety cream cheese today. We're just going to get that worked up. I did soften it quite a bit in the microwave so that it would mix in a little easier. And to this I'm going to add a tablespoon of melted butter and 1 egg. Take and whisk this together. Dump this into our wet ingredients. Then we'll give it a good stir. Now the thing with gluten-free dough is very often if you can get a donut, the dough is too soft to actually roll it out and cut it into donut shape. So I've just taken to making donut holes. It's a whole lot easier, a whole lot faster. Just because I'm finding the mixture to be a little dry, I'm going to add another 1/4 cup of milk. There we go. It's all about improvising. You have to know what the dough is supposed to feel like. Now I'm going to stir in, I finely chopped up the strawberries. I have about a cup of very finely chopped dried strawberries and about half a cup of dried kiwi chopped up as well. So I'll stir that in. So for deep frying anything, you want to have it about 375 degrees, and you want to have it in a deep bowl. If you're going to have it on the stove top, you don't want the chance of oil coming over the top. So I like to use my little cookie scoop for this. It works perfectly because it makes small round balls and it also makes them all the same size, so they'll all cook up in the same amount of time. I just dip my scoop into the hot oil first so that it doesn't stick, and just scoop and drop it in there. So as you're deep frying, you just want to kind of give them a little bit of a stir if they don't turn over on their own, just to encourage them to brown both sides. Sometimes once one side is browned, it'll automatically flip on its own, but occasionally it needs a little nudge. So as you can see, they're bubbling away, they're turning a nice golden brown, and that's what we want. We also don't want to fill the pan too full. If the pot's too full, they're not going to fry up properly, and you're going to be adding too much at one time that your oil temperature is going to drop and it's going to end up taking longer to fry. So once these are brown, I'm just going to take my slotted spoon and remove them to a paper towel lined cookie sheet and let them cool for a few minutes. While they're still warm, I'm going to toss them in some sugar, and the sugar will stick to there and give it a nice coating. Let some of the excess oil drip off, and then put them on a cookie sheet that's lined with a few layers of paper towel, just for it to absorb the extra oil. While the donuts are still warm, I have a half cup of white sugar here. I'm just going to take and roll these in the sugar and place them on a serving dish. When they're still warm, the sugar sticks to them and gives them a nice coating. You could use confectioner's sugar if you'd like. I prefer using regular white sugar because I always have trouble inhaling confectioner's sugar and I end up having a coughing fit instead. This one's just way safer. I've tried using coarse sugar as well, but it seems to be too heavy to actually stick to the dough, to stick to the donut holes. When you are deep frying anything, I ask you to please use extreme caution. Never drop dough into the oil. Make sure it's placed gently, and then if you need to, push it off your spoon. Always keep the lid nearby. Always keep an eye on the heat. If the oil gets too hot, you're going to start burning your food on the outside and it's still going to be raw on the inside. When you're removing food, please make sure that it does not splatter. And when you're finished, turn the heat off on your element. Leave your oil where it is, just push it off the element if you have to. Like I was using the front element, I pushed it to the back element, which isn't hot. Put the lid on and just leave it there for at least 2 hours. Just let it sit, it'll cool. Right now it's extremely hot, and if you try to do anything with it, you have a very good chance of burning yourself, so please be careful. Safety is definitely utmost importance when you're deep frying anything. So there you have our berry and kiwi cream cheese puffs. They're donut holes that are filled with cream cheese goodness and the flavor of strawberry and kiwi. They're crisp on the outside and filled with chopped fruit on the inside. And they taste really, really good. Whether you're celiac or not, I know you would enjoy this. Thank you guys so much for stopping by again today. I'll see you guys a little later in the week. If you haven't done so yet, get your recipes in. This is your last chance. Don't put off to tomorrow what you can do today. Get your recipes in. I'll see you guys all later. Bye for now.